to honor the men and women who have fought so valiantly for our country. So really excited to go out to Frankenmuth. Jonathan, while we're there, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm in Frankenmuth, you got to make a stop at your favorite locale or two. Is there a spot that you're going to visit tomorrow, or do I need to give you a little bit of Frankenmuth guidance?
I don't know of any that I'm like dying to go to. Maybe you'll have to help me out.
We're going to change this. Why don't we, you're going to do one of two things tomorrow, okay? And just follow my lead.
Okay.
And look at this physique. I would not lead you astray. You do not get this physique without doing this. Either one, you're going to go downstairs either to Bavarian Inn or Zender's, or even better, both. And you're going to go into the basement. And you're going to go to the bakeries and the candy shop, maybe get that giant round chocolate covered donut full of sprinkles. Whatever you're going to do, you're going to go to the basements there. But you know what? We're also going to make a little stop. I think Zach and Max Candy Shop. And are you a chocolate guy, Jonathan?
I love chocolate, yeah.
Have you been to Zach and Max?
I haven't been to Frankenmuth in so long. Like, I haven't been walking around Frankenmuth. I'll go to Frankenmuth for like one thing and then leave. But I haven't
to all our listeners in Frankenmuth, I apologize for Jonathan Dent. This is not how it works. When you're in Frankenmuth, you have to hit multiple locations. You have to. So I'll tell you the couple things. Even though it's November, I'm hoping there's still a little bit of Hofbrau Oktoberfest sitting, in one of those basements. Maybe a 6-pack to enjoy over the holiday season. Sounds delicious. Or like I said, Zach and Max has amazing chocolates, and they have all kinds of different chocolate treats and fudge and all kinds of stuff. So you are going to have to figure something out. But I'm going to tell you, on behalf of all of Frankenmuth, there is no way you just duck in, do the radio show, and duck out. We will find you all wearing our lederhosen, or what's the appropriate German attire called? The longer, they look like shorts, but they're not shorts, but they're not pants. They're kind of the in between. They go over the knees. Is it lederhosen? Yeah. Everyone's going to find you in their lederhosen, carrying giant beer steins, going, Jonathan Dent, get back here. Spend that hard-earned Alpha Media money and support the Frankenmuth economy. So we're looking forward to it, folks. And I don't know about all of you, but Frankenmuth's one of those places I just can't run in and out of. I have to find a little bit of time to enjoy a few places and bring home some goodies for the weekend. So this hour, we are joined by our very own Dallas Rau, who is the executive director of the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership. Good morning, Dallas.
Good morning.
So before we get into it, what's your favorite Frankenmuth place? What advice do you give Jonathan, who's been doing Frankenmuth wrong and needs some guidance? Well, what's your favorite place to go to?
I've never heard of someone who doesn't just stroll the streets before. So I've never been in and out at Frankenmuth before. So that's interesting. So we always have to get some sort of cheese from the cheese shop. We have to get some chocolates. Of course, Zach and Max is the spot. And we're going to stop at lunch at Prost for sure and enjoy a cocktail and all their delicious fare that they have there. So that's kind of our go-to. Frankenmuth Brewery, maybe.
Ooh.
I mean, you can't go wrong.
No,
you really can't go wrong anywhere.
So I got to tell you, I always have the hankering. Whenever I'm there, I'm like, oh, why am I suddenly in the mood for chicken? It's like, what is that? You guys are all smarter than me. Used to be a scientific experiment with the bell.
Pavlov's dogs?
Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah.
That's why I am when I'm in Frankenmuth. It's like, ooh, I'm in Frankenmuth. I suddenly need chicken. The problem, though, chicken at lunch means you're napping at 1:30 on a Friday.
Get back outside and keep strolling.
Yeah.
Keep shopping.
It knocks your productivity down pretty good. So Prost on a Friday afternoon sounds like a great idea. All that said, I don't think you're here to talk about Frankenmuth, are you?
No, as fun as that is. And hey, I'd love to tag along if I
could. So why don't we start big picture? Tell everyone, what exactly is the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership?
Yeah, so the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership really wants to ensure that everybody in the Great Lakes Bay region has access to the care that they need in a timely fashion, and that they can do so without any barriers or stigma.
And how long have you been in your role as executive director?
Just over 10 months.
And how's it going so far? When you take a job like that, and it's always a big move into the nonprofit space, right?
Yes.
It's kind of a little bit of a leap of faith.
Absolutely.
And this type of work always is, right?
Yep.
when I say how's it going, just what I mean by that is mental health is a difficult subject for a lot of folks. A lot of folks don't necessarily want to talk about it. A lot of folks still feel like there's a stigma involved with it. Someone has a broken arm, and we're all there, and we see the bone sticking out. We freak out. We call 911. We get them immediate care. We know what to do. We oftentimes see people that we have this sensation or belief or fear that they may be suffering from a mental health crisis. And we oftentimes think, well, that's not my business, or that's too uncomfortable to talk about, or how do I even bring this up? So in these 10 months that you've been in this job, do you find that people are willing to engage on the subject? Do you find that people are willing to be open about it? Or do you find kind of a mix?
I think right now it's a mix, and that's a great question, and that's something that we're striving for every day is to, remove stigma so it's not a barrier anymore for people to talk about their mental health, to do so in the same way that they do their physical health. And like you said, if I'd walked in your day, we had the broken arm, bleeding, bone sticking out, we kind of know what to do. We can brace it, we can get care on the way. We have different programs that can really help with that. So I think when folks kind of go through the training, they know it exists and they can get those skills that they need to understand how to respond to someone who may be suffering from a mental health challenge or a substance use challenge even. They feel a lot more well-equipped to handle that. So like some things that come up in some of our classes is, somebody crying on a bench at maybe the mall. And how would you approach them? Like, how would you know what to do? And some of the trainings that we have can help people with that. But overall, I think, we're starting to make some headway there. And I'm really optimistic there as far as how it's going.
So why don't we jump in right there? Because you're talking about mental health first aid, which I think, for our listeners, everyone has probably taken some level of first aid training in their lives, right? At a job, at a school, an organization they're with, coaching a team. A lot of folks have taken first aid training, and we're at least equipped to deal with minor issues or how to help someone that may have something that happens physically. What is mental health first aid?
Yeah, mental health first aid, it's really, think about it just like you do with the physical first aid, right? So we're kind of giving you the skills that you need to understand and respond to the signs and symptoms of someone who may be suffering from a mental health or a substance use challenge. So we're not asking you to diagnose, we're not going to be that doctor that fixes that broken arm or what have you. So we're just kind of getting them connected to the initial support and that care, which is so important when it comes to kind of helping people in the region and starting to have that ripple effect and building that confidence, like you said, in those skills and the optimism so we can remove those stigma barriers and getting people moved to the help and the treatment that they may need.
Sure. So when you talk about the fact that the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership is helping people get these skills, are you doing mental health first aid trainings? How often are you doing them? And I think most importantly, for those that are listening, they're like, hey, this is really cool that this happens. Who can sign up? How do they sign up? What's the cost? Just how does this work with mental health first aid?
Yeah, so we have some sporadic trainings that occur. A lot of it's through amazingly sponsored grant funding. We have a couple coming up right now. So in Monday next week, we have an adult mental health first aid training. So that will have adults be able to learn and how to respond to other adults who may be suffering from a mental health challenge. That's going to be taking place at the Delta College Midland Downtown Center. And you can sign up on our website. You can sign up through our Facebook site. We have some events created for that. And it's $25, gets your spot reserved. And it'll be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We'll serve you some lunch, we'll have some refreshments there for you. And you will get this fantastic training, and you'll get to be amongst other folks throughout the region who want to be there and kind of get that same training, which is available. And then we have a youth one coming up on November 18th. Same spot, Delta College Midland, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, sign up on through Facebook, one of our events pages there. And that'll actually teach adults that work with youth, live with youth, and that'll kind of cover that youth from ages 12 to 18.
That's outstanding. So for our listeners that, okay, maybe they can't make one of those trainings, but maybe say it's a company in town, a school, whatever. Can you guys come in and offer first aid training directly for an employer or an organization and come in and work with an organization directly?
Absolutely. That's actually something that we strive to do as part of kind of our funding model that we have. And we really love it when we see these organizations come in and kind of take that leap with us, right? To kind of make that shift in their culture, to make that an important aspect of their workplace, taking care of their employees as well. And we love to do that. We've actually got some bookings already for some direct employees in January, and we're booking into February as well. So please reach out. We're happy to help you in any way that we can.
That's awesome. We're going to take a break, but we're going to be back here with Dallas Rau.
This is Sonia with Feges Interiors, and I'm here to invite you to check out our recently renovated window treatment gallery. Along with custom draperies and top treatments, we now offer a range of America's most popular brands of blinds and shades like Hunter Douglas. We have an array of smart home compatible, energy efficient designs that are available at everyday low pricing. We can even cover those odd shaped windows with style. For over 24 years, I've helped my clients create custom one of a kind window treatments, and now I'm able to offer complete room design with Feges Interiors. Through December 1st, save an additional $75 per shade on select styles with motorization. Visit our website to schedule your complimentary consultation and enjoy 50% off professional installation. Or visit our ever-changing showroom at Feges Interiors, 4946 Burl Drive in Saginaw.
Discover the art and style of custom framing at Cooper's Frame and Art, Saginaw's trusted locally owned frame shop for over a century. Whether custom framing your artwork, family photos, sports jerseys, or creating a shadow box of memories, Cooper's can provide the professional design that will make a statement in your home or office. They also have a wide selection of ready-made frames and framed art available. Check them out on Facebook or at coopersframe.com, located at 2905 Court Street in Saginaw.
When you plant Rink, you can expect excellence in every seed. Why? Because we expect excellence in every seed. For 6 generations, we've done extensive testing across the Midwest and Great Plains to select the best drought and disease-resistant varieties. This testing, plus our investment in genetic research and state-of-the-art seed processing, result in better yields. Don't leave your seed to chance. Let us help you find the right seed for your growing conditions. Rink Seed. Results since 1846.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
It appears layoffs are still low, though there are signs of the job market cooling. The number of people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time last week rose by just 3,000 to 221,000. It's in the range of estimates from economists. However, it appears to be taking longer for people to find a job. Continuing claims in the week ending October 26th rose by 39,000 to 1.89 million. The Federal Reserve is expected to lower interest rates by 0.25% today. The Bank of England cut rates by 0.25% earlier today. Higher cocoa prices are cutting into Hershey's profit. The candy maker's earnings declined from a year ago, though its overall business held up better than anticipated. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda. Invested in you.
Our nation's economic problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight. Dr. Ron Paul here, and this is why I recommend diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold, a proven bedrock in any economy, with my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
Coming to the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant, yes, it's Tommy James and the Shondells. And you'll have a chance to win tickets from WSGW Saturday, November 30th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant. Listen for your chance to win tickets the week of November 11th with your WSGW morning team, 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
Mangoni on it first. Perek left wing circles. Newton scores! Zane Perek. It took just 8 seconds of the 5-on-3.
The Saginaw Spirit host the Peterborough Petes, 6:50 tonight on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. And I think I've told you guys, spent a little more time at Westside Decorating Center of late, but you know what? The new wallpaper and chair rail in the dining room look phenomenal, and Mike and the team at Westside Decorating do a great job. So thanks for making my wallet lighter, Westside Decorating Center. So I am here this hour with Dallas Rau with the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership, and we are chatting mental health, which is definitely one of the most important issues that this region and this country faces, and something that I'm very proud to say I think the region in particular has taken an aggressive posture towards and really worked head on to combat. So we're talking about mental health first aid in that last segment, but why don't we talk about stigma? So do you believe that we are still battling massive stigmas, negative stigmas, as it relates to mental health?
Unfortunately, yes. I think it's still present for people. It still exists within folks across the region. Sometimes I'll even catch myself, being a little afraid to talk about things or share things sometimes too. But something that we just need to keep working toward and keep taking those baby steps, right? So one thing that I think is really helpful is just like having those conversations with folks and sharing your story with maybe even folks you trust. And something that the partnership's been able to do, kind of this grassroots effort, is having people actually come forward and share their story, which I think is so helpful because then we can kind of gain that inspiration from people, community leaders, people that we look up to in our community, at our businesses, and that we kind of see as those kind of pillars, and say, hey, if they went and got help or whatever the support that they need, maybe I can do it too.
Yeah. So there are ways that people in the region can get engaged and get involved and lead the anti-stigma effort. Can you talk about the campaign that's been running through the Great Lakes Bay Region Mental Health Partnership that's aimed at breaking down that stigma? And I even think more importantly, how can people that are listening with their company or, again, organization take a leadership role and actually engage directly in this front?
Yeah, that's a great comment. So with the I Matter anti-stigma campaign, what we're doing is having people in the communities come forward across the region, in Midland Bay, Saginaw, or Isabella counties, and share your story. So we want to hear from you as far as when you realized you had a mental health challenge and needed that help or support, and then how you got that support and how you overcame stigma, so you can actually, be that inspiration for someone else who might need that help. And there are some interest form links that we have on our website where you can click those. I'm really happy that we have another round of storytellers coming out. They just rolled out a couple weeks ago. So we have some new storytellers that are featured on our social media sites that we've not heard from yet. And they're talking about, again, just those same stories, right? How they kind of overcame stigma and the barriers that they faced initially. But it's that message of hope, ultimately, of what they can do. So to your point about maybe what folks can do in their workplace, I would encourage you to, overcome that stigma and maybe share your story with someone. Maybe it's at a leadership meeting. Maybe it's at a safety meeting. Maybe it's at some of your, maybe have an annual get together with folks. That would be a great way to kind of share and let people know that that hope does exist. And if you can do it, then maybe other people will be inspired in the room.
Absolutely. I can tell you, for our listeners, I've done it.
Mhm.
I've dealt directly with mental health impacting, a close family member. And it's important that you talk about it. It's nothing that we hide.
Yep.
It's an illness like anything else. And it's something that most likely in our lifetime we're all going to face. You may not realize it, but I'm sure you have those days where you just feel stuck,
Mhm.
or maybe you feel lost and you just don't seem to be able to function. You're having a little bit of a mental health issue at that same point, just like you would a migraine headache or a
Mhm.
toothache. And do you have the coping mechanisms? Do you have the skill set to recognize what's going on? Do you have people around you that can help you? Do you have outlets? Do you have a way that you can recover from that? Just like, hey, you get that headache, everyone gets over it differently. Maybe it's the ice pack, maybe it's Advil, maybe you need to take a nap.
Mhm.
Everyone deals with it differently, right? Same thing if you're having that little bit of a mental health challenge at that moment. How do you deal with it? How do you work through it? And I think it's just so important that people are comfortable understanding that that's normal, folks.
Mhm.
It's okay. But unfortunately, some people are debilitated by mental health challenges
Mhm.
and they need significant care. So as we talk about that, Dallas, talk about providers, and just not providers, but their well-being as well. Providers have had hell of a go here through COVID. A lot of challenges that
Yeah.
have happened over the course of the last 5 years. Can you talk about the work that you're doing in provider well-being?
Yeah, so something that we try to do, and we're in some planning stages now for a summit next year for mental health providers across the region, is to give them a space to come together, have some learnings that different things that matter to them and what they want to learn about, maybe earn some continuing education credits, but really come together and not feel that isolation anymore, right? Because a lot of folks are doing telehealth. They might not even, know that other folks exist that are doing some of their similar work, maybe haven't met some other folks in the same network. It's a great way for them to come together and just realize, like, hey, there's other people out there that are doing this work, maybe feeling a lot of the same feelings that I'm feeling. And there's a lot to be gained from having that kind of space to share and come together with like-minded folks who are doing similar work, and maybe having some of that kind of secondary, absorption of those emotions and what they might be working on with some of their clients. But the partnership really wants to make sure that we're giving them that safe space to do that. And so I'm looking forward to sharing more information as those details kind of emerge for hopefully maybe next fall in 2025, to hold some sort of a summit for our mental health providers across the region.
So Dallas, we're going to do this. I'm going to throw you a curveball.
All right.
We're going to open up the phone lines and let's hear from the region. Let's hear from folks that want to talk about mental health, that are curious more about the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership, or how we address things like stigma, how we look, and kind of what folks' thoughts are as they hear about, mental health first aid. Folks, if you want to call in, 989-752-6111. Again, 989-752-6111. But we're going to take a break and we'll be back after these messages.
Save up to 50% on a hot tub, cold therapy tub, or swim spa at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas in the region. See swim spas in action, offering exercise, therapy, and fun all year long. Over 40 spas will be on display from 5 major brands at huge discounts. Financing is available and show admission and parking are free. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Visit hottubBlowout.com. That's hottubBlowout.com.
You better build bigger bins. It's just a suggestion, but regardless, be ready to maximize your per acre profits with MX Series Corn by Stein. Our data-driven, product-centric approach quickly delivers new, higher-yielding genetics ready to perform from one of the industry's largest corn breeding programs. MX Series Corn by Stein has yield. Live your life your way with Stein. Learn more at steinseed.com.
As Michigan residents struggle to find affordable housing, partisan legislation in Lansing will hurt people's chances in attaining the dream of homeownership. The bills attack safe, welcoming manufactured housing communities by instituting rent control and imposing new taxes. Manufactured housing will help solve our housing crisis with high-quality, affordable, energy-efficient homes. Legislators in Lansing have a chance to give more hardworking people the keys to a brighter future. Tell them to vote no on Senate Bills 486 through 492. Paid for by the Michigan Manufactured Housing Association.
Hometown feel and big time winning. That's Saginaw Eagles Landing, the place where everyone greets you with smile after smile. In the casino, at the restaurants, or in the hotel, this is a getaway that makes you feel right at home. We've got hundreds of slots, great food, and a comfy place to stay. So come on in and see what the good times are all about. Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
This is Christiana Malagata, your host of That's What She Said. Tune in this week as we spill the tea with a woman who has been making waves in the Great Lakes Bay region for years, Megan Saman. We'll talk about kindness, work-life balance, and building for the future. Tune in.
That's What She Said with Christiana Malakata. Sunday evenings at 6 on WSGW, 790 AM and 100.5 FM, and online at WSGW.com.
It's the Stormmaster Exterior Studios of WSGW, and WSGW is online with Stormmaster Exteriors.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and I'm joined this morning by Dallas Rau with the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership. And we decided to open up the phone lines here to get a little bit of feedback here from the community and some of your thoughts as it relates to mental health. Jonathan, who's with us on the line?
We have Paul from Saginaw joining us. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. I worked 13 years in mental health in another county, and there were 7 major things that were instrumental in the mental health field that I came across. Number 1 was a head injury, a brain injury. That could have been from a car accident, some kind of brawl or fight, and that caused people to hear voices in their head, etc.
Okay.
Another one was drug abuse, either street drugs or prescription drugs that affected the brain and the head and caused mental issues. Another one was nutritional deficiencies, specifically selenium and other vitamins and minerals that cause some brain problems. And also some spiritual and sexual problems. And the sexual problems are transgender issues and gay lifestyle issues. Those always had some mental health incidents. And people who came from divorced, broken homes or single parent homes with no father in the house, it was difficult to teach spiritual and moral values in the home to the children. That could affect the kids later on and create some mental health issues. And last but not least, these marijuana use over time and other kind of drugs that, whether it's recreational or medical, over time, drugs like marijuana and cocaine stick to your brain. It doesn't leave your body like sweat or urine. It sticks to your brain and accumulates. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. And over time, it can affect some brain issues and mental health issues. So that's my basic, in a quick summary take of the things that I experienced in the 13 years working for mental health in another county.
Hey, Paul, we appreciate your call. And I think what Paul's bringing up and is important is that it's not ever one thing that can impact someone's mental health. There's so many different factors, so many different things he brings up. Some of the things that he did bring up. Yeah, I mean, you can have an injury and something can happen. And so it definitely changes your brain, or the injury so traumatic has an impact on what your life was. One of the things he brings up, without getting too specific, but there are a lot of issues that teens and young adults really deal with. Dallas, we got to go to an event with Eric Kipple, who was in with Blue Cross Blue Shield, the Bay Chamber, former Detroit Lions quarterback, and he has dealt with family members and himself with severe mental health issues, and he openly and freely talks about it. And I don't know if you remember, but I asked him, I said, Eric, if there were two areas that we could really make an impact in our region or in our community where we can really talk about mental health, what would they be? And his answer to us was in the workplace and in schools. Yep. So as you look at the work of the Mental Health Partnership, you're definitely working in the workplace. Where do you think that opportunity is with the schools?
I think Eric was spot on, and that's an area that's going to be a big focus for us moving into fourth quarter 2024 and 2025 as a goal of, getting our youth equipped, again, with those kind of skills to know how to understand and respond and maybe recognize those symptoms amongst their friends, right? So what we try to do is we may not always understand the trauma, right? As Paul brings up, that happened before. What we're trying to do is notice what's different about that person now today and kind of seeing that kind of continued effect of that person. So normally maybe they come to school, they're really put together, their hair is always done. And you start to notice all of a sudden they're a little bit more disheveled. Maybe they're not engaging in their sports or after school activities anymore. Those are a sign and symptom that we kind of teach amongst our youth, right, and our teens that, this could be a sign that they're maybe suffering from a mental health challenge or a substance use challenge. So what we would want to do, and some of what our training teaches, is kind of approaching them, right? Approaching them non-judgmentally and just saying, hey, I care about you and I noticed this. And then kind of taking steps from there as far as what they might share with you and continuing to be that good friend. And above all, kind of just that point of connection for them and knowing that someone cares and that someone is willing to connect with them on a regular basis to be that supportive friend.
Yeah, and I think the other part is a lot of parents just kind of get used to, well, they're a teenager, so this is what you expect. And you think, it's just, we don't have to worry about that. This is how teenagers are, right?
Sure.
And I think a lot of times parents of teens have no idea where to even get the resources, or they don't even think they're necessary. Or they're so worried that if they go see someone, they're going to start medicating them. And that's the last thing they want. And there's a ton of other answers, and there's a lot of resources. And don't you think we need to do a better job getting parents more informed of recognize issues that are going on with your kids? And this is the various ways that you can seek treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. And, talking to your schools and their administrators there, I mean, schools do a really good job of providing resources and those connection points too, but there is more you can do. And that's something that I'm really happy that the partnership is kind of taking a lead on with our training with the youth mental health first aid and as well as a teen. So what's interesting is the youth training we offer teaches adults how to be that kind of interaction point for the youth, ages like 12 to 18. The teen mental health first aid training we offer can teach it directly to the teens to be that supportive friend for their peers. Because what we most often hear and what data kind of tells us is the teens may not share that with their parents, right, to your point. they're going to maybe talk to their friends first, right? Maybe it'll be that late night text like, hey, I'm not feeling well. Maybe it's even more, I'm thinking about hurting myself. And, we can teach you how to ask those direct questions and then connect with a supportive adult to kind of tag in that trusted adult and offer those support and resources.
Great. Well, we're going to take a message. We still have time for another call or two in this final segment. Call 989-752-6111. We'll be back.
Hey, Michigan, let's think beyond the sink and learn where the water your family drinks every day comes from. Private wells and public water supplies allow homes across Michigan to draw water from different sources, like lakes, rivers, and groundwater. Tap into the facts about your home's water source and learn about your home's water quality to protect your family's health. Visit michigan.gov/care for MI drinking water. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Get ready to cheer on Bay County's future business stars. Join us November 13th at John Glenn High School for the Business by the Bay Pitch Competition Finals, presented by Huntington Bank, where 5 Bay County entrepreneurs will compete for their share of over $11,000 in cash prizes. Open to the public and free admission. Doors open at 5 p.m. for a meet and greet with refreshments. Competition starts at 6 p.m. Brought to you by the Michigan Small Business Development Center.
Misa races back on to the right wing. Seema, long shot, he scores! Nick Seema, a shot from 35 feet. 17:49 to go in the second. The Spirits strike first, and the Misa point streak hits 14 games.
This Thursday, the biggest homestand of the season begins. The Saginaw Spirits start their 8-home game month of November on Thursday night with the Peterborough Petes. Puck drop is set for 7:05. Doors open at 6. Catch all the action. Get your seats at SaginawSpirit.com today.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Okay, team, I'm going to level with you. The economy's looking pretty shitty. We need everyone to put on their thinking caps. Our digital marketing is flattening out. Every time we get successful with the right keywords, the costs are becoming astronomical. And our CPMs are going through the roof, and conversion rates are tanking. Now, how are we going to stand out from our competitors when we're all doing the same thing? Bob?
Well, boss, one thing I enjoy doing is listening to podcasts and radio.
Maybe we can use one of those hosts to talk about our products and drive more customers online. Radioactive Media made brands from Squatty Potty, Dr. Marty's Pets, Phone Soap, and more. They can match us with the right influencer and get a ROAS as high as 5-to-1.
Get a free analysis and receive $1,000 credit towards your first national campaign by going to radioactivemedia.com or text the word radio to 511-511. Discover how audio marketing can surpass your current strategies with new and innovative ways that sound better. Go to radioactivemedia.com or text radio to 511-511 today. Terms, conditions, message, and data rates may apply.
Your WSGW morning team.
The headline, it intrigued me. Betty White Eaton. This is from Australia. A 58-year-old man pleaded guilty this week to kidnapping a chicken named Betty White and then fed her to an alligator at a wildlife park in Australia.
Every word of that sentence was a twist.
That's a foul story.
Well, the man's been charged with aggravated animal cruelty. His defense lawyer says he just wanted to feed the alligator. The judge said no.
No.
This is at the Oakvale Wildlife Park, where apparently Betty White was part of a special program for threatened species.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ah, guess what? She was.
The morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and I'm joined by Dallas Rau with the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership. And if you want to call and ask any questions of myself or Dallas regarding the Mental Health Partnership, feel free, 989-752-6111. Again, 989-752-6111. Mental health is a very difficult issue to discuss, we know, but it's something that's very prevalent in our community, in our region. And we just believe that it's one of those things that if we can address, we can really move the region forward. And I want to talk about that from a work perspective. So our good friend J.W. Fisher, who sits on the steering committee and has been the chair for the last several years for the Mental Health Partnership, he really took this head on from a work-based perspective. Can you talk about what he did, Dallas, and why this was, so revolutionary here for a company his size?
Yeah. So JW really kind of paved the way, I think, for what workplaces can do, and kind of making it possible with kind of even giving people a model and kind of an entrance guide to workplace mental health and how they can institute it. So JW had attended a summit with a partnership and just realized, wow, like this is more of a problem than I realized. So he kind of went back to his team and did some digging as far as, what they offered their employees, what they covered. And what he realized was there were some barriers right within his own workplace and some things that he could do to improve that. So he took the steps to kind of create parity between that physical health and mental health. So rather than the mental health visits with a provider being, a larger copay that maybe didn't completely wasn't accessible for everybody, he made it the same amount as what you would have going if you weren't feeling well, right? If you were sick. So that was a really great first step. But they also, go ahead.
Yeah, one of the other things that I love about what JW did was he made it just part of everyday vernacular within the company, right? So every safety briefing, and for those of you that don't know, Fisher Contracting, we're talking about some rugged work. Dock workers, construction workers, truck drivers, road builders, right? These are guys that generally, men and women, that don't talk about their feelings a whole lot. But he was able to change a culture so that in every safety briefing, mental health is discussed. Not just, hey, here's what we have to do to be safe today and make sure we don't have any workplace injuries, but also, hey, we understand that you may be dealing with some challenges with your mental health, and we want to make sure that you're addressing that as well. And changing that culture is not an easy thing to do. But from his experience in doing so, he had so many workers that were seeking out treatment that never did before. He had families that said, listen, I thought that my marriage was going to break up and my husband's a different person now that he's getting this treatment, and that he knew to get it and that it was okay. And thank you so much, JW. You've really saved our entire family structure. It's amazing what that is. And that's something that if there's any company listening and you think, hey, I need to do more for mental health, what can they do, Dallas? How can they contact you? And how is the work that JW has been so successful implementing, how can that be replicated?
Yeah, that's a great segue. So, one of the things we try to do is just, start understanding where are your opportunities, right? So where could you do better? Where are you worried about? Where are your concerns in your workplace? We do have some assessment tools on our website that folks can go to and kind of take that little reflective dive into their own workplaces. And beyond that, let's have a conversation. Let's go to a meeting. Let's talk about, maybe some of the barriers that you and your employees are experiencing, and ways that you think that you may want to help your employees. And that could be, I can come into a safety meeting and talk to your employees. Perhaps maybe we look at and explore your benefits with your HR team and see like how we can create that same parity that JW did with Fisher Contracting. Perhaps we can hold a mental health first aid class for your leadership and then even your employees, and we can kind of get some of those folks in line with what that looks like as well. So there's lots of things that we can do, and we just welcome that conversation because every business and organization's different and what you need. And we can kind of take that model from what JW had, and that whole model is on our website. I always refer to them like the polio vaccine, like Dr. Salk, like it's available and it's free for everybody to use and to reference and to implement, but we can help you do that.
Yeah. And can you give the website so everyone knows exactly where to go?
Yes, I can. So go to greatlakesbay.com/mental health. And then there's some places you can go to for resources, but you're going to want to check out the workplace tab.
Yeah. And so for those that are listening and you want to get engaged, you can become one of the iMatter storytellers.
Absolutely.
You can bring in the partnership to conduct first aid training for your organization, or you can attend a training. You can look to bring this towards your school, or you can look at how you can put this model in place with work-based planning, work-based mental health. And then finally, if you are a provider and you need help or you want to engage with other providers, you can contact the partnership, and there's going to be an event next year. So lots of things that everybody can do. Dallas, want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for all of the great work you're doing on behalf of mental health.
Awesome.
And we'll be back.
The 36th annual Dow Tennis Classic returns to Midland now through Sunday, November 10th. Watch top-ranked professional female athletes from around the world compete in the WTA 125 event. Tickets range from free daytime matches to all-inclusive experiences with Grand Slam dining and beverages. Support area nonprofits and local businesses, all while watching world-class tennis. For more information and tickets, visit DowTennisClassic.com.
Art Lewis here at Quick Lane Freeland, next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. Quick Lane Freeland is a one-stop shop for all your oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries, and they work on Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, Hondas, Jeep, Dodges, all makes and models to keep your car or truck in good shape. And by the way, speaking of tires, they are selling new tires for just $5 over cost. You can't do any better than that. Brand names like Michelin, Goodyear, and BF Goodrich, plus an additional $60 to $100 in rebates. Extra for installation includes balancing and lifetime tire repairs. Enjoy our customer lounge with internet and free ice cream bars at Quick Lane Freeland next to McDonald Ford, where again they work on all makes and models of cars and trucks. They want to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape at Quick Lane Freeland next to McDonald Ford.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
That wraps up this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Want to thank Dallas Rau with the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership for joining us. Up next hour is Jessica Larsen, and she's going to be talking about the giving machine. But first, the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A day after Donald Trump scored a sweeping victory in the race for the White House, President Biden is getting ready to address the nation from the Rose Garden. Correspondent Matt Piper.
It will be the president's first appearance on camera in the aftermath of Donald Trump's victory over his vice president Kamala Harris. In his statement, Biden said of Harris, in part, under extraordinary circumstances, she stepped up and led a historic campaign.
Mr. Trump will have decisions to make on pardons for January 6th rioters.
President-elect Trump promised to pardon some of the rioters charged with crimes in connection to the attack on the Capitol. But some of the rioters, like Christopher Carnell, are already trying for the pardon. Just hours after Trump was declared the winner, he asked a judge to delay his hearing so lawyers could contact the presidential transition team. His request was denied, but it's expected more rioters will try now that Trump has won a second term. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's congratulated the president-elect. CBS's MTS Tyab from Korets, Ukraine.
After speaking over the phone, Zelensky tweeted they had agreed to advance cooperation. Now, on the campaign trail, Mr. Trump repeatedly vowed to end Russia's nearly 3-year war on Ukraine within, quote, 24 hours, but hasn't said how.
Firefighters north of Los Angeles have been struggling to contain the fast-moving flames of a wildfire that's destroyed dozens of homes in Ventura County. CBS meteorologist David Parkinson says the weather weather won't provide much help today.
Most of the wind gusts you'll be seeing, particularly in Southern California, is in the 60 to 70 miles an hour range. But that's the kind of wind that can fuel extreme fire behavior.
The National Weather Service has issued a red flag alert through Friday. School kids in Philadelphia may have a difficult time getting to classes tomorrow. 5,300 SEPTA workers who operate bus, metro, and trolley services are threatening to strike.
I take SEPTA to and from school every day, multiple trains, buses, trolleys. I don't think I'm going to be able to go to school if it does happen.
Transport workers say they'll walk out if they don't have a contract they like by midnight. A dry town in New Jersey is ready to pop champagne for the first time in 120 years. Lawmakers in Haddon Heights have voted to repeal their more than century-old alcohol ban. Mayor Zachary Houck says it'll be a boost for business.
There's an opportunity to bring a whole new customer base to our downtown. The little shops, they're going to stand to benefit because you create an influx of foot traffic to our downtown community.
He and the city council still need to draft and pass legislation. Dow up 47 ahead of the Fed's announcement on interest rates. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
DTE's renewable energy projects build communities. Our wind and solar projects have provided Michigan communities with thousands of jobs over the last decade, not to mention millions of dollars in additional tax revenue that funds roads, schools, and first responders. Libraries, parks, and even veteran services are supported by our renewable energy projects. So when clean energy projects thrive, our communities thrive too. DTE.
It's Tommy James and the Shondell. Saturday night party night, November 30th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Classic 60s hits with Tommy James. Tickets start at $35 and are on sale now at the box office at etix.com.
My baby does the hanky panky.
November 30th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Don't miss Tommy James and the Shondell. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Hey there, you in aisle 2. I see you by the fiber and laxatives. You still using those to manage your constipation with belly pain? If your symptoms keep coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. So you may need more than over-the-counter treatments to manage it. Ask your doctor about how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LANCESS.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 48 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchuk. Sentencing is pending for a man accused of killing 3 of his cousins in June 2022. On Monday, 51-year-old Juan Mireles pleaded no contest to manslaughter and felony firearm for the shooting deaths of Laura Buendia, Mariano Escareno, and Rafael Campos at a family gathering at a home in the 300 block of South 11th Street in Saginaw. According to prosecutors, Mireles was not originally in attendance at the party, but arrived later in the evening with a gun and shot the victims. Buendia was pregnant at the time of the attack, though her unborn child survived. Prosecutors dismissed charges of open murder in exchange for Mireles' plea. He could face up to 15 years in prison. The superintendent of Bangor Township Schools in Bay County has been named Superintendent of the Year by the Michigan Association of Superintendents and Administrators, or MASA. Matthew Schmidt was selected in recognition of his commitment to a student-centered education, dedication to fostering a thriving school community, and leadership within the district and broader educational landscape. Since his appointment as superintendent in 2013, Schmidt has led Bangor Township Schools through a series of initiatives enhancing both student achievement and community engagement, including the implementation of support systems for students from diverse backgrounds, a district-wide focus on positive behavior reinforcement, and significant upgrades to district facilities. Under his guidance, Bangor Township schools have experienced unprecedented growth and academic success with a focus on closing achievement gaps, enhancing school culture, and expanding opportunities for all students. According to Massa, Schmidt's leadership has transformed the district into a model of innovation and inclusivity, making Bangor Township a destination district for families throughout the Great Lakes Bay region. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced elder law, estate planning, asset and business protection planning in Michigan for over 3 decades. As a veteran, I've also helped veterans and their spouses benefit from special VA programs. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned the rules, what solutions work, and had your questions answered, such as, can I protect my stuff from the government and long-term care costs? What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable trusts? How can I avoid probate? And do I need to? Should I give my stuff to the kids or others? Know the rules and what solutions work. Get answers to your questions.
If your planning is more than 5 years old, you may have missed some great opportunities. Call 989-790-1461 to attend Attorney Jerry Reif's free workshop, How to Protect Your Stuff. This workshop is on Thursday, December 5th at 2 o'clock in Saginaw at the Capocco Community Credit Union. Call 989-790-1461 today or register online at jerryreiflawyer.com. Happy holidays.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Stellantis is cutting a shift and 1,100 workers at the Toledo South Assembly Plant. In a statement, the automaker says it's focused on realigning U.S. operations to ensure a strong start to 2025. The Toledo Assembly Plant will move from 2 shifts to 1 starting in early January. The layoffs, according to Stellantis, will be indefinite. Affected workers will get unemployment benefits for a year and health care coverage for 2 years. The UAW says it will strike the move, although Stellantis says any strike would be illegal. A family fight has led to a police officer getting shot. Here's Michigan News Network's Ingrid Kelly.
A shooting involving 2 brothers in northern Lenawee County Wednesday afternoon led to a pursuit and exchange of gunfire. The incident left one of the men dead and a police officer wounded in Jackson County. Michigan State Police were called to investigate the shooting. Officials say the suspect fled from officers and fired several shots at them. After a pursuit, police shot and killed the suspect in Jackson. State police said the wounded Jackson police officer will survive. Ingrid Kelly, Michigan News Network.
The Right Place, an economic development agency in Grand Rapids, has released its 2024 talent report. Officials say as workforce dynamic shifts, the plan is to plan ahead for next year and beyond. They say the labor market is cooling but not cold. As a whole, the greater region has seen a nearly 20% increase in 25 to 34-year-olds holding bachelor's degrees or higher, growing diversity, and there's a strong demand for talent. Of the top challenges, workers say increasing work stress is leading to worse mental health, with 40% saying they are burned out. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see sunny skies here for today with a high into the upper 50s. Winds out of the west around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly clear with a low near 42. Friday, sunshine, a high of 58 degrees. Saturday, sunny skies and a high of 55. Sunday, we'll have a chance for some rain showers here with cloudy sky conditions, high of 61. Then by Monday, partial sunshine develops, a high of 57. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high around 56 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 48.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and I am filling in as a guest host for Art between now and next Tuesday. And Jonathan Dent and I are once again hitting the road across the Great Lakes Bay region tomorrow. We're going to be at the Michigan Heroes Museum in Frankenmuth. Veterans Day is coming up on Monday, and no better day than Friday to go there and take a little bit of a tour and hopefully be able to share with all of you such an outstanding museum here in the Great Lakes Bay region that honors our veterans, the men and women in uniform who have provided us our freedom and our freedom to conduct free and fair elections like we did this week. So really looking forward to seeing everyone. In this, though,
real quick, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of free elections that just happened.
Yes, sir.
We're going to give listeners a heads up at 11 o'clock. President Biden is scheduled to speak. We're going to be trying to get those comments, or we will be having those comments on 790 AM. Regular programming with Focus at 11 o'clock will continue on 100.5 FM. So just want to put that note out there. We'll probably mention it a couple other times this hour, but making people aware.
I appreciate it. So while Jonathan Dent is got the mic, and we are joined here this morning by Jessica Larsen, Communications Director for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who's our guest this hour. Jessica, we're going to put you on the spot with a really important question because Jonathan Dent gave us really alarming information in the last hour. We were asking him, we're going to be in Frankenmuth tomorrow. Where are his must stops before we leave town? And he had the audacity to say that he doesn't have those stops, that he just goes into Frankenmuth, does what he has to do, and he leaves. And we're stopping that tomorrow. So I want to know, as someone who is a champion of all things Great Lakes Bay region, Jessica, what is your advice? What are your favorites in Frankenmuth? What are you going to guide Jonathan to do tomorrow when we're done with the show?
Oh, my goodness. So there are so many places that I would stop, but obviously Riverwalk Place gets you so many things in one spot. I mean, you're walking through the bridge, you're checking out all the scenery, you feel transported to another place, but there's also shopping and delicious smells, right? So love
There's
it.
cupcakes.
There's cupcakes. There's also crepes, whatever.
A lot of dog treats.
A lot of dog treats.
Dog-friendly place, so
Yes.
dog treats everywhere. Jonathan,
Yes.
do you have a dog?
I have 2 cats. I don't have a dog.
You're the crazy cat guy. I wondered who
I'm not.
is. I wondered who
I'm
that
the
was.
sane cat guy.
Not from my vantage point, folks. We figured out who the crazy cat guy is. What else should he stop at in Frankenmuth? He's got now the good part is there are cat treats as well. So we got you
Yes.
covered.
I mean, the other good thing is you can visually see what you're looking for. So if you want cheese, look for the cheese, the visual cheese that draws you in the cheese house. We got Zach and Max Fudge. Their toffee is spectacular. Creation Coffee has a spot there that if you're in the mood for some coffee. Let's see what else. Obviously, we've got Bavarian Inn, Zenders. Bavarian Inn, the new water park, is getting very close to completion. Beautiful. One of the largest or the largest in the country.
It is going to be the largest now.
Huge.
Correct.
So, I mean, obviously, you might not have time to go down a water slide, but
It's
if you
not
do,
open quite yet. Not open quite yet.
Right.
The expansion's not there. They're hoping,
Almost.
from what I hear, somewhere around the Christmas time. They're working diligently.
Fingers crossed.
Jonathan, both of these hours now, you've gotten some guidance. What are you going to do tomorrow when the show's done?
The cheese shop. Both Dallas and I'm sorry, I'm bad with names.
Jessica
have recommended the cheese shop, and I am a fan of cheese, so I'll have to stop.
Attaboy.
Yep.
Now we're talking. When this is done, folks, Jonathan Dent is going to be the poster child for Frankenmuth, the Frankenmuth CVB, the Frankenmuth Chamber. He is going to be Mr. Frankenmuth by the time we're done with him. So this hour, thank you, Jessica, for being a partial Frankenmuth expert. We're going to talk about something really cool. And I've been hearing a lot about it, a lot of previews coming. People have been telling me about it. And the entire time, I'm going to be honest, I haven't dove into it yet because we know we want to have you on the show. Talk about the Light the World giving machines. Giving machines, like, sounds really cool. Second only to the Mystery Machine. Can you tell us what is the Light the World giving machines?
Okay, so the Light the World giving machines are bright red vending machines. So visually, you can see this in your mind. Bright red vending machines. but instead of getting like snacks and drinks out of it, you're getting items for people in the community. So you can get, it's represented by 5 different local nonprofits, 2 global charities. You walk up to it, you type in a number just like you would any vending machine, and you watch a card drop that represents the item that you just donated to somebody in your community.
Okay, we're really gonna have to dive into that.
Yes.
I get the conceptual piece. Okay, so let's first start. How are any of these out yet in the Great Lakes Bay region?
No. So
if you're driving around going, okay, I'm gonna go find a giving machine, they can't do it yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
When
yet.
is it gonna kick off?
So the ribbon cutting will be November 19th at noon at the Midland Mall.
So the first one's going to be in the Midland Mall.
Correct.
Now, this isn't a Where's Waldo thing where we got to go try to find it. Where in the Midland Mall is this going to be?
We will make sure that it's visually attractive and catches your eye. However, if you enter right between Barnes and Noble, that main entrance area, we're located right off of Hobby Lobby in between St. Lawrence Brothers Candy and the Shoe Depot.
Awesome. How many giving machines are going to be in the Great Lakes Bay region to start this year?
So they come in 2s or 3s. So this year we have 2 giving machines that will be at the Midland Mall. And then there are only other locations in Michigan, which I have to note that this is the first time they've ever been to the state of Michigan. They've been around since 2017 and they have had global presence, but this is the first time in Michigan. So Campus Martius, Detroit, Woodland Mall in Grand Rapids, and Midland Mall in the Great Lakes Bay region.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And by the way, I love hearing that. When you want to hear about really spectacular things going on in the state of Michigan, Detroit, Grand Rapids, Great Lakes Bay region.
That's right.
That when you think about us regionally, we become a much bigger place and a destination for a lot of things. And I'm happy to see that folks like this are looking, okay, where can we put these around the state that our region is thought of like that? So that makes me feel good. So you talked about how there are 2 national organizations involved. Who are those?
So we have 2 global, they're actually global charities. So CWS, Church World Service, and then Water Aid, which is another global charity that provides.
Got it. And then you said there are 5. Are these national, statewide, or local nonprofits?
Local nonprofits.
Even cooler.
Yes.
So tell us about the 5 local nonprofits that are engaged with the giving machine.
Awesome. Yes. So we decided to take a regional approach with this as well. We weren't sure when we started out where they were going to be located, but we knew they would be in the Great Lakes Bay region. So as in the applications were coming in for the nonprofits to participate, we made sure that we had a regional representation. And so we have Hidden Harvest, we have Partnership Network, we have LEAD, we have Great Lakes Bay Health Centers, and the R.L. Jones Community Center.
So 5 amazing organizations. Let's walk through a couple of these quickly. So Great Lakes Bay Health Centers, I think you know well.
I do.
For all of our listeners, used to be known as Health Delivery, helps by providing healthcare access across the board, all across the region and beyond, kind of a large section of Middle Michigan that goes beyond our Great Lakes Bay region into the thumb, north, south, a variety of services from anything from OB, dental, primary care, you kind of name it. A phenomenal organization that's really in place to help those that are some of the most vulnerable in our community get health service. They're in our schools in Saginaw United. They're at Bay City Central. Yep. They still have their migrant program where they help our seasonal workers that are here working in our fields. Brick and mortar facilities all across the region. Further expansion in Bay, expansion in Midland. I think a lot of folks know Great Lakes Bay Health Centers.
Yes.
So as we move forward, Hidden Harvest.
Yes.
Which my wife was the president of Hidden Harvest for several years.
She was in the board meeting a few weeks ago. So.
Yes. So that is food recovery and redistribution. So if there are restaurants, schools, entities, farms, you name it, farms businesses that have food that we don't want to go to waste, Hidden Harvest goes out. They bring it into the food relief center and then they redistribute it out to the community for those that need food. It could be at places like the Eastside Soup Kitchen, but there are actual delivery of these resources all across. And
192 agencies, I think, they service.
It's remarkable.
It's
they
just
save
incredible.
Millions of pounds of food a year. When you
Yes.
guys see a Hidden Harvest truck on our road, know that that is food that would otherwise just be discarded, is instead being saved and getting to those who are hungry, so that we do not have people in our region that are going to bed hungry. Phenomenal organization. 3 others. Who do we have?
Partnership Network, R.L. Jones Community Center, and then LEAD.
And LEAD. Remind me on LEAD.
LEAD out of Midland. Lisa Tarkington.
Got it.
Yep.
I have it. So I often get confused because there's 2 LEAD organizations.
Formerly Self Love Beauty.
Thank you. There's also the LEAD that deals in the Latino community. So that's why I wanted to make sure that we had that. Yes. So you have it. So we're going to dive into this a little bit further, because I want to know what it's like when you go up to one of these machines and what happens and how exactly this works. Really remarkable thing. And I love that we're talking about it in November. A lot of giving thanks and giving back. And this is really cool. We'll be back.
Save up to 50% on a hot tub cold therapy tub or swim spa at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas in the region. See swim spas in action offering exercise, therapy, and fun all year long. Over 40 spas will be on display from 5 major brands at huge discounts. Financing is available and show admission and parking are free. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Visit hottubBlowout.com. That's hottubBlowout.com.
If you're not happy with your Medicare coverage, you only get one chance a year to change it, and that time is now. Even if you are happy with your plan, you should still take the time to review it, because what was good for you this year might not be what's best for you next year. To review your Medicare coverage, call Mindy McIntosh at McIntosh & Associates today, 989-283-7995. That's 989-283-7995. You only have until December 7th to make changes, so don't wait till it's too late. Copays, prescription drug plans, and coverages can change, and that means this year's good provider might not be as great for you next year. You have to make a decision on your Medicare coverage. Why not have Mindy McIntosh at McIntosh & Associates help you make an informed one? Call now, 989-283-7995. That's 989-283-7995. Firm offers insurance services and is not affiliated with the U.S. government.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened with modest gains and turned mixed after yesterday's dramatic post-election rally. Wall Street is anticipating another interest rate cut from the Fed today. The Bank of England lowered its key rate by 0.25% earlier. New claims for unemployment benefits were little changed last week at 221,000, though continuing claims rose to 1.89 million, a sign getting a new job is taking longer. Investors are looking at more earnings news. Lyft shares are up 26% after higher bookings for rides in the summer quarter. Wireless chip company Qualcomm reported upbeat earnings and expressed optimism about coming months. ARM Holdings, the chip design company, also topped expectations. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSGW online poll, daylight saving time, standard time, or both. So after several weeks of political polls, let's lighten things up a bit with a poll that we haven't done in a couple of years. The time changes happened again, and once again there are many calls for ending this 2 times a year event. Senator Marco Rubio leading the legislative call with his Sunshine Protection Act that would end time changes and make daylight saving time permanent. That legislation's passed the Senate in the past. It gets stalled in the House. So let's find out from you in the WSGW online poll. What's your take right now on the time change? Should it stay daylight saving time all year, which means lighter later and darker later? Should it stay standard time all year, lighter earlier and darker earlier? Or just leave the time changes as they are now? Again, lightening things up after several weeks of political polls. Head to WSGW.com and make your online poll vote.
Your morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Krijak's House Family Restaurant is the best place to go for your authentic home-cooked foods with a European flair at reasonable prices. Now's the time to think about getting together with friends and family for lunch or dinner, as well as events coming up soon. Graduations, confirmations, weddings, showers, anniversaries, Krijak's has an economical way for you to supply the food. You can order what you want in Polish and American foods and then just pick it up at the restaurant ready to go, or have your celebration right there. And don't forget, at a moment's notice, Krijak's can help. Call 989-894-5531. Krijak's House Family Restaurant, corner of Cass in Michigan, in Bay City's South End. For those who were listening yesterday, you will fully appreciate that. As a kid who grew up in the South End, that is where Krijak's is located. The little script I have that says Bay City South Side. No, we're not doing that. If you're from Bay City, you know there's no South Side. It's a South End. We're gonna do this.
I corrected Terry Henney on the farm show yesterday too.
Did you?
Make sure he knew.
I like it. I like it. I have to use my Bay City knowledge on all of you, and I wanted to make sure that I said it correctly. One of the callers yesterday shamed me for even saying South End the wrong way. So I think I have it all correct. And guys, I'm allowed to do this. I grew up a block from St. Stanislaus Kuska Church. I attended the school from kindergarten to 8th. I used to sing Catholic Mass in Polish. Had no idea what I was singing, but, we did what Mr. Stan told us to do, and that's just how it worked. And yes, of course, the music director at St. Stanislaus Kuska Parish was Mr. Stan. You can't make these things up. It's fantastic.
And his wife is Love.
Yeah, that's so funny. You want to give a quick reminder, Jonathan?
Yes, at 11 o'clock, President Biden is scheduled to make an address, and we're going to try and have that. We will. I keep saying we're going to try. We're going to have that address. We're going to try to have it on time because these things tend to get delayed, but that will be on 7:90 a.m. and then regular programming with the Focus Show and then the Farm Show, if it takes that long, will continue on 100.5 FM and online at WSGW.com.
To be fair, though, Joe Biden can come out whenever he wants. I mean, at this point, he's lame duck. He doesn't have to answer anybody. He doesn't have to wow anyone or impress anyone. He can leave everybody waiting as long as he wants now, right?
Or he could just come out like right now and just surprise everybody by being a half
hour
early.
Here I am. Let's go.
Let's get this done.
Well, we are here right now with Jessica Larsen, Communications Director with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And she is working on a really cool and unique project here in the Great Lakes Bay region, which are Light of the World giving machines, which we started talking about in the first segment. So now let's talk about this again. So Jonathan Dent and I, we're going to the Midland Mall because I have them all across the Great Lakes Bay region these days, and he loves it. So we're going to go into the Midland Mall over by Barnes & Noble, and we're going to go in, and there's going to be a bright red couple of giving machines. We're going to be able to go, and instead of getting out a Kit Kat, we are now going to, do we choose what we're going to get? Is this like that? Like, do I get a Kit Kat? Do I get a Twix? In this case, is this, I want to give back to Great Lakes Bay Health Centers. I want to give back to LEAD. Do I pick which one I'm going to give back to?
Yeah, so there's no candy bars in it. Sorry to disappoint. No Kit Kats. Maybe we'll have one in the one of the volunteers can give one to you later, Matt. But no, so you're going to walk up to the machine and you're going to see a visual display just like you would a vending machine. But instead of like the chips and the pop and all the things, you're going to see cards representing the items. And so those cards will have, there's 30 total cards in the machine. So you're going to have a choice. You can pick what you want, Or if you really want to, you can hit 777 and buy one of everything in the machine.
Whoa.
So that's coming soon. We're gonna launch the 777 challenge on Giving Tuesday, but stay tuned for that because it's a way to give one of everything in the machine.
So when you talk about there's items that are in there, okay, I'm not gonna like hit a button, okay, and then lead pops out, and Lisa Tarkington's thinking big, and she's like, I'm gonna need you to buy a Bugatti for the program. Like, what kind of items are we talking about? Like, what am I? Because am I going to know the item before I select it? Am I actually going to see the item?
Absolutely.
I'm just not selecting the charity. I'm also selecting the item.
That's
so
right.
give us some examples. What does this look like?
So, each individual organization is going to have 5 different items in the machine, and you're going to be able to buy anything from apples for the food pantry to potatoes for the soup kitchen to you can get a ride to a wellness visit for someone. So if somebody needs a ride to a doctor's appointment, you can purchase that. You can buy a baby kit for somebody entering foster care, so diapers and a pack and play. For lead, there's some really cool items in there, things like children's books that promote confidence and mental wellness workshop for a teenager who might be struggling with something. Or you can get a stuffed animal or provide sanitary products for a woman who lives in a shelter. So you have the choice. You can walk up to this machine. You're going to type in that C11 or the F15 or whatever that looks like. But you're choosing the exact thing that you're purchasing is exactly what that organization is going to give.
So I'm really glad that we're talking about this because I was thinking too literal and too tangible. So when you say that I'm buying apples, this isn't like I got a card. Now I got to run to Meijer, buy apples, buy potatoes, and deliver to Hidden Harvest. It's a monetary contribution that's going to be made at the giving machine. But what I choose, that's what it will go towards. So when you say the giving machine, we're talking about pull out your credit card, get that Marriott Visa card ready to roll. We're going to put some smoke on it. And in this kind of giving time, I'm be able to go and say, hey, I want to help these organizations, and here's how I can do it. What are the dollar amounts that we're talking about on the various things? Is there a range of dollar amounts that we're talking about in terms of that giving back?
Yes. So it ranges anywhere from $5 up to $250.
Woo!
So
Jonathan Dent level, folks, $250. Here we go.
And that $250, that's buying a community well. So that's a large ticket item, but it does a lot of good for a community that doesn't have running water, right? But the $5 could purchase you toothbrushes for a child. So you're looking at a wide range, and there's a lot of things in between in those monetary donations. But when you're talking about the potatoes for the soup kitchen, for example, you're rescuing 1,000 pounds of potatoes for the soup kitchen, which they will use.
So awesome. They will. Yeah.
So,
and by the way, folks, if you've never been in there and volunteered and kind of gone in there, it's really an amazing experience to go in there and prepare meals, serve meals. I can tell you the folks that are in charge of the kitchen. Ooh, do I listen to them? I know that I'm their guest in there, and when they tell me do this, do that, I follow it to the letter of the law. And but it's one of those times you do that for a couple of hours, you feel
humble.
Just this sense of thanks. Number one, that you're not in that position, but number two, it's great to be able to go and give back and know that you're helping to serve meals to people that might not otherwise eat. So it's amazing. So here's my biggest question on this giving machine. You talk about how there's 7 organizations on there. How in the Lord's name did you guys choose what 7? Because I'm guessing that people are hearing this going, hey, I want to be in there. I want to be on there. I want to be in there. There could be 7,000 organizations that are part of this giving machine. How did you guys get to the point where we're able to say, hey, here's who's going to be on this to start. Here's how we're going to do this.
Yeah. So back in the early spring, we received the approval that our proposal to have them come to Michigan was approved. So that was like, yay, doing the cheer in the air. And then the work really began because we had to start meeting with individual organizations. And for this for all intents and purposes, we had to start who we knew, what we knew, right? So the church works with a lot of different local organizations, humanitarian efforts, a lot. I mean, locally and globally. And so we started there. We started with the organizations that we had already had an existing relationship with in the region. And we ended up getting in 12 applications. So it's a formal application process. They have to fill it out. They have to, we have to have access to make sure that, certain criteria is met. They have to be a 501c3. They have to, administrative costs have to be low, things like that. And then I turn it in to headquarters. I send it away. I don't make the decision. But we knew that we wanted that regional approach. So we had a full list. I think there was 13 total that applied, and then only 5 could be put into the machine this year. So, and at any time, it's 5 per location. So we got word back of the 5 that were chosen, and that's who we moved forward with. But next year, I anticipate we're going to have more than 12.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to keep talking about kind of this inaugural project of Light the World Giving Machines here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
Attention seniors, it's that time again. Time to put your Medicare plan in place for 2025. Secure Assets Insurance Agency in downtown Bay City on Washington Street can help ease the pain. Independent owner Tim Zackley's mission is to end Medicare confusion so you will feel confident in your healthcare coverage. He specializes in Medicare supplements, Medigap, Medicare Advantage, prescription drug plans, hospital indemnity policies, and even life insurance. Insurance exactly how it should be. Schedule a face-to-face free consultation today at senior-protector.com.
This is Sonia with Feges Interiors, and I'm here to invite you to check out our recently renovated window treatment gallery. Along with custom draperies and top treatments, we now offer a range of America's most popular brands of blinds and shades like Hunter Douglas. We have an array of smart home compatible, energy efficient designs that are available at everyday low pricing. We can even cover those odd shaped windows with style. For over 24 years, I've helped my clients create custom one-of-a-kind window treatments, and now I'm able to offer complete room design with Feges Interiors. Through December 1st, save an additional $75 per shade on select styles with motorization. Visit our website to schedule your complimentary consultation and enjoy 50% off professional installation. Or visit our ever-changing showroom at Feges Interiors, 4946 Burl Drive in Saginaw.
Attention homeowners, Stormmaster Exteriors wants you to save big on your roof replacement next spring. For a limited time, go online to stormmaster.pro or call 989-488-4846 to book your free winter roof inspection. When you sign before December 1st for a spring roof replacement, we will guarantee you 2024 pricing, saving you hundreds, if not thousands. Each year, costs increase. Don't let inflation break your bank. Call your local roofing experts at Stormmaster Exteriors today, 989-488-4846.
You have the chance to win a $1,000 gift certificate to the business of your choice by entering the WSGW Holiday Home Makeover Contest at WSGW.com. When you enter, you choose the business you would use your $1,000 gift certificate for if your name is randomly drawn as the winner. Businesses include Delta Door Sales, Roof Max, Wolfiles Ace Hardware, Bigick Nursery and Garden Center, M&R Garage Doors and Openers, Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Crane's L&M Appliance, Furniture, and Mattress, Cluck Nursery, Mid-Michigan Garage Door, West Side Decorating Center, Stormmaster Exteriors, or Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center. Enter once per day and get bonus entries too. Deadline to enter is November 22nd. It's the WSGW Holiday Home Makeover Contest. Find out more and enter online at WSGW.com.
From the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, you are listening to 100.5 FM and 790 AM. And from Stormmaster Exteriors, you are listening online at WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. How was your sleep last night? Today's workers are asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and spend 1/3 of your life there, you need quality sleep. Get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured that the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you. Can the box stores do that? Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road, Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 989-753-1757. So, folks, we are back here with Jessica Larsen, Communications Director, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we're talking about the Light the World giving machines. So let's zoom back out. I think we kind of got the gist. And just a reminder to everyone, you can go to the Midland Mall. There's going to be 2 bright red giving machines. Go in the Barnes & Noble entrance in that area. You're going to be able to find them. 7 organizations, including 5 that are regional here in the Great Lakes Bay region, including Great Lakes Bay Health Centers and Hidden Harvest and LEAD, a few others, right? You're going to be able to go in, pick a donation amount from $5 to $25. It'll buy something specific for each organization. You pick what that is. Amazing way to give back, right? So phenomenal project. How did you guys become aware of this? Like, I want to know, like, where did this come from? Because, you know, it clearly has been going on since 2017. How did this get on your radar?
So, yeah, the Light the World initiative, the full initiative started in 2016. And it was just finding ways for us. It was to, you know, how to serve each other in small and simple ways and to provide joy to people around you. So the giving machine started in 2017 with only 10 locations globally. And then let's fast forward to 2023. Last year, there were 61 locations globally. And now this year, we're looking at 106 locations
awesome.
Globally. So $33 million has been raised since the beginning with 10 million of that just last year.
And so for our listeners, when you're referring to us, what does us mean for you?
Us. So the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the church I belong to, but I also serve as the communications director locally. And it is a volunteer position. It's appointed. I was called to this position when a new stake president was called. That's John Lowry. He serves as the stake president. He's the area ecclesiastical leader that oversees 12 different congregations. So I'm kind of his point person in the community and make sure that things like this happen. So the Light the World initiative, the giving machines are a big part of that. It's a massive initiative, and it's to be noted that the church covers 100% of the operational costs, including the credit card fees. So none of this is coming to the church. And then that means that 100% of the donations that goes into these goes to the organizations. Not a penny is kept. So we want to make sure that people know that we cover those costs. And we do this because we want to build community relationships. We want to work with people. We want to provide hope in our communities and know that if you want to get something done, you can contact us and we'll help.
Yeah, I love this. Although I do have one suggestion as I've been thinking about it, and I think we need to make this happen. I think that I need to be able to go to the giving machine and put my credit card in. I'm going to buy my potatoes for Hidden Harvest in the soup kitchen. I think it's going to be awesome. There's my $20. Mm-hmm. I think I should get a Kit Kat too. Like, I think we got to find a way to combine those two things.
Sure.
So that, you know, Matt Flon gets a Kit Kat or a Twix and, you know, gets something delicious. Because it's going to a vending machine and putting money in and then not getting something back out.
I mean, you're walking away with a warm feeling, Matt. You're going to walk away with a warm feeling knowing that you provided this good or service. It's better than the feeling you're going to get from the Kit Kat. I guarantee it.
Why can't I have both? Why can't I have my Kit Kat and eat it too? Why can't I literally have chocolate on the side of my face and the fulfillment of giving back to a local charity? Why can't I have both of those, Jessica?
We might be able to make that happen.
I mean, if you can send that on the way back through and give the word, give that feedback out.
We need Kit Kats.
We need Kit Kats because I just want to hear what response you get on the other end when you say, yes, this is what's been suggested. I need to hear both sides of that. I think
I'll pass
it's
it
going to
along.
be awesome.
Yep.
Well, Jessica, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for doing this. Like I said, I love that you guys are doing this now, kind of in this month of Thanksgiving. How long will this be out in Midland, just so we know?
Yes, thank you for asking that. So the launch is November 19th, but the machines will be active and live from November 20th through December 31st. So anytime that the mall is open, you can stop in. We will have volunteers there to help facilitate, and we'll also have themed events Like the Saginaw Spirit will be there for one of the days. So we'll have all these different events around the giving machines to draw people in, participate in the activities. But you can stop by anytime the Midland Mall is open from November 20th to December 31st.
Awesome. Thanks for seeing you today. Good luck, and we'll wait to hear how it all goes. We'll be back, folks.
M&R Garage Door wants to remind you to get those home improvement projects done now before the fall weather hits. Now is the perfect time to replace that old garage door with an M&R door, or finally get a garage door opener. The pros at M&R can install a new garage door that'll work great and look fantastic for years. An insulated door will help you save on your heating bill. M&R can get your existing door ready for winter with new rubber bottom and perimeter seals. The pros at M&R can professionally install or repair any brand residential and industrial door or opener. Remember, at M&R Garage Door, service is their specialty.
Kapoco Community Credit Union has you covered this fall for any of your lending needs. Have home improvements? You're covered. How about that fall color tour vacation? Covered. Maybe it's something that will make lasting memories like a wedding. Yep, Kapoco has loans that will help you with all those life-changing events. Any dream is possible when you let Kapoco dream it with you. Kapoco Community Credit Union, Bay City and Saginaw. Plan your fall now. Go online to kapoco.org. Member NCUA.
For 3 days only, you're invited to experience the difference at the Art Noe Appliance VIP sale, happening November 6th, 7th, and 8th. This is the best time of the year to upgrade your home with top quality appliances from trusted brands. Unbeatable deals on Maytag, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Electrolux, Frigidaire, and more. On top of the better than Black Friday pricing, they are paying your sales tax on items in stock. You won't find a better deal than the Art Noe Appliance 3-day VIP sale. During this incredible sale, they're proud to continue offering Art's exclusive models. You'll get an extra year of protection on select models at no additional cost, all right through their in-house parts and service department. Need it delivered? Well, trust their delivery and installation experts to get the job done right. Shop all 3 locations in Saginaw, Frankenmuth, and the outlet in Shields. November 6th, 7th, and 8th. That's 3 stores, 3 days, and better than Black Friday pricing at Art Noe Appliance, where quality, service, and unbeatable prices come together.
Make this holiday season extra special. With the Saginaw Children's Zoo membership, you can create lasting memories and unforgettable moments with your loved ones. Purchase a Saginaw Children's Zoo membership today and give a wild gift to your family. Visit our website, saginawzoo.com, to learn more.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you zoo?
Fall into riches every Saturday in November with a Harvest of Fortune giveaway at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Every hour from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., 2 winners will each walk away with $250 cash. From 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., the cash doubles with 2 winners every hour, taking home $500 cash. Then at 10 p.m., one lucky winner will score a whopping $5,000 cash. Only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eaglelanding.com for complete rules and details.
The annual WSW Food for Families campaign presented by Michigan Sugar is going on now through Thanksgiving weekend. Once again, we are asking you to make non-perishable food donations to help those in need, as served by the Salvation Army locations in Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland. You can make donations at Michigan Sugar, the Uptown Bay City offices, and the processing plants in Bay City, Seboween, Carroll, and Croswell. You could also visit these other businesses serving as Food for Families donation locations. Crane's L&M Appliance, Mattress and Furniture, 2 locations in Saginaw and Caro, Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center in Midland, Wolfisle Ace Hardware in Saginaw, Kapoco Credit Union, 2 locations, Saginaw and Bay City, Big Gick Nursery and Garden Center in Bay City, Art Noe Appliance, the 3 locations, 2 in Saginaw and 1 in Frankenmuth, Thumb Bank and Trust in Bay City, and special thanks to Rheinmold Printing in Saginaw for the printing and boxes. For specific business addresses and other information, visit WSGW.com and look for the Food for Families box. Food for Families with you, the Salvation Army, Michigan Sugar, and WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Swan over at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art. Art is going to be out through next Wednesday, so you're going to be with me tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday. And Jonathan and I are on the road tomorrow. We're going to be out and about in the Great Lakes Bay region. We're going to be in Frankenmuth at the Michigan Heroes Museum. Really looking forward. I have not been over there yet. Looking forward to a little tour and hearing all about the museum and how it honors our men and women in uniform, our veterans, had a Veterans Day on Monday, which is one of the most important holidays that I think we have in this country. Have you been over to the Michigan Heroes Museum yet, Jonathan?
I have not. I'm interested to check it out.
Yeah, no, there's no question. How about you? Do you have any family members that were veterans, people that were close to you?
Yeah, the closest to me would be my grandpa, and he's still with us, and he's an awesome guy.
How did he serve? What branch?
I believe he was Army in Vietnam.
Yeah, see, this is going to be our age separation between you and I. So my closest as well would be my grandfather. My grandfather was a medic in World War II. He was in the Aleutian Islands, Iwo Jima. So when you think about that very iconic picture statue that's in Northern Virginia of the soldiers lifting the flag at Iwo Jima, he was there. I remember chatting with him. I said, so you were there when that happened, when they were raising the flag? He goes, well, we the medics came the day after. We're not there when the battle's going on because we don't need all of our medics, being targets. So we came in after. But he was there taking care of soldiers who were wounded. And it's a fascinating story. Actually, my grandfather is from Southern Texas, and I doubt that he ever finished high school. And he Spanish was his first language, so English was language too. But his sister and brother-in-law had moved to Saginaw to come and work at GM following the war. And he came to visit and visited a couple of the hospitals and found out that he could make more money here in Michigan than he could back in Texas. And so decided to join his sister up here. And that's how the family moved here. But it was kind of that post-World War II, my dad was a baby boomer and his brothers. And then I had uncles on both sides that this is where our ages now start to get a little bit closer. They were both Vietnam veterans. Both in the air side. One was my one uncle was a pilot, flew cargo planes in and out of Vietnam. And then my other uncle served on aircraft carriers, was an aircraft mechanic. So, same thing. I think a lot of our families, what's changed, and I think this is for the good, it seems like those older generations, you had a lot of veterans all over the place that served, just not in the military, but served during conflict and severe conflict. And I think that's getting better. We're not quite as many people serve during conflict today, but always kind of in my head and in my mind because, I wouldn't be where I am today and wouldn't have the lifestyle I have without their heroic efforts through the year, especially, and we can debate Vietnam, but World War II would have changed the world as we know it had it not been for that greatest generation. So to my grandfather and all those folks that fought through World War II, my appreciation goes pretty deep. Yeah. So it'll be an interesting day. Now, on the fun side of that, you've gotten to hear cool things. Are you excited to go to the cheese shop now? Are you excited to venture off into Frankenmuth and do a tiny bit of walking tomorrow?
A tiny bit, yeah, sure, I guess.
Come on, man. If there's chocolate at the other end of that walk, isn't that going to make you get out there and do the deal?
I got leftover Halloween candy at home. Like,
what's wrong with it? It's funny that you said that. We live in a little cul-de-sac neighborhood over near SVSU, and we do the big candy bars because we don't get that many kids. It was so windy that night. We did not get a single trick-or-treater. Zero. Oh, wow. We got shut out. So now, what do you think the problem is?
I can help you solve this problem.
There are 30 candy bars just sitting there in my house in a box. And they talk to me. They say, eat me, fat man, eat me. Like, it's a problem. The Milky Way is talking to me.
Yeah, I'm dealing with a similar problem. I forgot to turn my light. It's my first time living in town. Like I moved since last Halloween, and we lived in the middle of nowhere in Standish. So I forgot to turn my light on. Didn't have anybody, and then by the time I realized my mistake, I was like, it's too late anyway. I'm going to bed. I'm a crotchety old man. I'm learning more and more.
Folks, the more I work with Jonathan, this is true.
Yep.
I wish I could tell you different, but I'm learning. So quick transition, cool few things going on, folks. Tonight, Delta College is hosting the Chocolate Affair at Horizons Conference Center. Speaking of chocolate, I got an email. They still have tickets available, $75 or $135, depending on what time you'd like to go. It includes various food stations, carving stations, etc. And the big finale, 8 p.m., the dessert finale. So if you want to get out and support the Delta College Foundation, tonight's your night with the Chocolate Affair over at Horizons Conference Center. This weekend, over at the Great Hall in Midland, it is Junior League of the Great Lakes Bay region, and they're going to be hosting their annual Festival of Trees, a dynamic event where you can go and bid on trees that have been donated by companies and organizations all across the region. Proceeds to go out and support Junior League. It is their main fundraiser of the year every year. They do amazing work getting young women across the region involved in local philanthropy. And I am going to be there tomorrow night. I'm taking my mom. So Margaret and I are going to head over and check out Festival of Trees. And while we're on the air, I've been joking the last couple of days about growing up in the South End. My friends have reminded me that there's a cool new organization over there called Furnishing Friends through the Great Lakes Dream Center, where you can donate furniture, beds, etc. for people that are starting their first time home and need some help with the furnishings. You can donate your items there in the old St. Stan's Elementary through the Dream Center. Again, that is called Furnishing Friends. Check that out online or on Facebook. But Jessica got me in this mode of giving back and thought we'd highlight a few cool things that are happening where you can give back here in our local community. We'll be back, folks.
Save up to 50% on a hot tub cold therapy tub or swim spa at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas in the region. See swim spas in action offering exercise, therapy, and fun all year long. Over 40 spas will be on display from 5 major brands at huge discounts. Financing is available and show admission and parking are free. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Dow Diamond in Midland. Visit hottubblowout.com. That's hottubblowout.com.
For over 25 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner.
But did you know Tri-City Line-X is now Pro-Line Coatings? They offer rust-proofing and undercoating too. Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
That's great news. Now, the guys at Pro-Line Coatings have the only wax-based, rust-proofing, and military spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
And right now, get $100 off on a rust-proof and undercoat package.
Pro-Line's rust-proofing process is wax-based. No long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Get $100 off on a rust-proof and undercoat package today. Tri-City Line-X is now Pro-Line Coatings, and they're located on Wilder Road in Bay City. Give them a call at 989-671-9820.
Get a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, Pro-Line Coatings number in Bay City is 989-671-9820. That's 989-671-9820.
You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. And if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk.
That wraps up this edition of the Art Lewis Show. I want to thank Dallas Rau with the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership for joining me, as well as Jessica Larsen talking about Light the World Giving Machines. Up next is the Focus program. We're going to be joined by Wedding Days, but first the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.